EDC, or everyday carry. What do you carry every day on your person? And that's what we're going to look at today. It's something that is a project that is ever evolving. There are different items that I tend to find, pick up, and out of the experiences that I've had with a lot of different gear, a lot of different items, this is my choice. Now, your choices and your preferences are going to be different, and what suits your lifestyle, what suits your budget. And so we're going to take a look at what I do, but I want you to leave your comments below on what your EDC is. And that way it'll help different people formulate the best EDC for them. Keys are something that I use more than any other item. Going from my shop to my house, my car, having keys, it's just a big part of your life. And so one of the things that really transformed my EDC this year was the key bar. I've done a review on this. I'll have all the links to the reviews where you can get the items down in the description below. I'm not going to talk a lot about it during this video because I don't want to cloud it up. I want you to just concentrate on your EDC. The key bar was huge for me, and I've had this now for about 3 months. I love this tool. It has transformed the way I use my keys. I've been looking for a way to, organize my keys, to keep them quiet, and this was perfect. All my popular keys go on the outside end, away from the lanyard, my shop key, my house key, and then I keep my secondary keys on the other side. And that way, no matter what, I can reach in, I know where my keys are. And of course, my truck key right here. And this is just an exceptional item. And you can actually add tools and other things to this. I think I have 6 keys. You can go all the way up to at least 10 keys, maybe 12 keys. And of course, I have a video on this that you can look and see how this is done, how it's assembled and everything. But this is a phenomenal little item. Another item that I really love is the Toe Hill lighter by Numith. And this is actually a design from Marshall at Going Gear. He designed this lighter. What I like about it, first off, is that it has this little connection point that I can put it on a key ring. If you have a Zippo or Bic or anything else, there's no way to attach it. And I do like a lighter. I have Swedish fire steels and all the other fire starters, but really for convenience and ease, a lighter, it's just hard to beat. It's in a nice aluminum hard anodized cylinder. Keeps it really slim in your pocket, and then all you need is a little bit of lighter fluid and you're ready to go. I mean, this is just an excellent little tool. I love it. When you want to close it, just tighten it down. Has a seal. Just really easy to keep in your pocket. It doesn't stick out. It doesn't cause any issues. And that's one of the things about these keys. They're very comfortable in my pocket. So organizing your keys to me is a big plus, especially for 2015 for me. This has been a huge transformation. The knife is an important part of EDC. It's something I carry with me at all times. I have a Benchmade Barrage. Excellent knife, high quality, lightweight, fast, and yet it's a large knife. I love it. It is such a speed demon when it comes out. Very strong. Of course, Benchmade quality is what it is. It's excellent. This is something that I've been carrying for a number of years actually now, and I really love this knife. Sometimes I'll switch around to my Spyderco Mannix or a couple of other knives, but I seem to always go back to the Barrage. This one in particular needs to be sent back to Benchmade. They have a sharpening service, or I can sharpen it myself, which I like to do. But this is just an excellent option, and having a good knife is primary for your EDC. Of course, your phone, here I have an iPhone 5S. They do have, of course, now the iPhone 6. Whatever your phone system is, and knowing your phone, knowing your maps, your contacts, all those things, it's really important to have your phone and to have it protected, which I have one of the Magpul covers on here. But not only that, I have one of the Magplates.com Magpul covers. They do some pretty cool designs. This just personalizes my phone. If it's sitting around, everybody knows it's mine. Of course, they would know it for just the Magpul. But if you're around friends like I have, a lot of the guys have the Magpul. So this is just an excellent little item. Again, down in the description, I'll have all the information. This does protect your phone very well. The big OtterBox, to me, is better protection, but it's big, it's thick, and it's almost like 2 phones. Of course, if you're going with the iPhone 6, Magpul also does covers for it as well, or your Android or whatever you use. But of course, having a good phone system is critical in today's world. A good light system is extremely important. If you've never carried a light, you'll be surprised at how much you use Olight once you carry one in your pocket. I mean, you use it all the time. I've had so many friends that have started carrying lights that are just like, wow, I never knew I needed a light so much. And with the small size that they're making now, it's just easy. This is actually a little bit larger than a lot of lights that you can carry, but I like this. The Olight, and it's the S10 Baton, but it's the rechargeable S10. I've carried S10 Batons for a long time now, and I love the size. Mainly what I like is the potential to get light way out. In fact, last night I had this light out. I was on my front porch. My shooting range is 100 yards away. When this thing is on bright, it shines all the way down into that field. And so this is just a phenomenal small light with a lot of power. This with the rechargeable, it's even better than before. It uses the CR123 rechargeable, and it has a small little base that you just set it on and it recharges. I have a review, of course, and of course these are available at Going Gear. I do want to mention those guys because a lot of the gear here that I'm showing is at Going Gear, and just an excellent resource for your EDC. And plus you get 10% discount using Such00 when you check out. But this is just an exceptional light, having a high quality light. You can buy a little $5 light at Lowe's or whatever, but the electronics in it will not hold up. Buying really good electronics and a flashlight is really nice, especially at night. This is your #1 security tool. I've said it 1,000 times, and I'll keep saying it because you're going to use a light more than you're going to use anything else for self-defense initially. So having a good light, that's important. Now with our cell phones, we have our time right there with us, but I still like to have a classic wristwatch on my wrist to be able to check the time quickly. And this is the Reactor Watch. It's an excellent, high quality, almost indestructible watch system. They make some of the toughest watches in the world. And this is the Griffin, which most of Reactor watches are stainless steel cased. This is a polymer case with a stainless steel core. So it's completely impervious to water and to shock and everything else. You can dive with it. Has a super strong band to it. Again, I'll have the review links and everything down below. But this has been a fantastic watch. I can't recommend these any more highly. It's just, again, it's just super strong. And this is just something that I love to have on my EDC. One thing about EDC to me is I like to have good quality items. I carry these things every day. It's part of my everyday life. Why not have good quality items? Of course, you can go with a good Timex, which they make some. The Iron Man is excellent. I've used those for years. There's a lot of things like that that you can find. Again, EDC is for your budget. It's for what you want. This is just my philosophy of use, and obviously this Reactor watch is extremely well suited for whatever you're going to do. Of course, a good billfold, and having all your cards, your concealed weapons permit, your driver's license, those are important. One thing too is you can actually slip keys, things like that in here. Of course, everybody carries a wallet or a billfold pretty much, so you know the drill. But had this one for a number of years. I'm probably due for a new one, but billfold obviously is important. Now, having a good pen, and after I've talked about quality, I've used the Pilot G2 forever. I love this pen. I love the way it writes. I have a number of tactical pens. I have some really nice quality pens, but I love the way this writes. So having a good pen, though, is important, whatever you use. This just happens to be my choice. Now, as far as my concealed carry, the Glock 27 seems to be my mainstay. I carry it a lot. The Model 26 in the 9mm is also pretty close to one that I carry very often. It's just according to what I want to do. And to be honest with you, your concealed carry, being familiar with your firearm is important. I just have a number of guns and I like to carry different ones at times. I do carry my CZ Rammy often, and I do have other guns that I bring into the mix, but it just seems like I'm always going back to my Glock 27 and Glock 26. One of the reasons, though, that I go with my Glock 27 a lot is I have one of the Techniclips. This is an exceptional carry system that makes it really easy, and it just attaches to your back slide plate. They provide the slide plate. You put it in, and the clip just goes right down into your belt. This is so convenient. This is probably one of the reasons why I carry my 27 a lot of times more than my 26. The reason why I don't have one of these on my 26 is because I like to also use a holster at different times. There are different things that I'm doing. With this Techniclip, I can't put it in a holster or easily. And so that's one reason why I do go with the 26. And one thing too is I love the Talon grips. Talon grips are exceptional, especially for smaller pistols. It gives you a little more grip, and to be honest with you, it looks like a factory grip. There's no difference. I have done some texturing on a couple of my guns. One of the problems with texturing is that it can wear into the frame and the texturing starts to smooth out if you're using your gun a lot. With the Talon grips, you can put them on, you can take them off. And so I really like that. I personally like the rubberized coating. I know Hickok likes the skateboard granulate, which, you know, that just happens to be his preference. But I love this grip, and I think it's a really great addition to your EDC. A little more comfort, a little more gripability. Now, something that I've just added is the Ruger LCP. And I've had a love-hate relationship with these for a long time. I love it because it's so tiny. I mean, it's so thin, so tiny, and it's just excellent. One of the things, though, that it is a 380, and it is a difficult gun to shoot and to master at the range. But if you shoot it enough, it does come together. And I've really gotten very proficient with the small, thin 380s. Now, a lot of guys will say, why didn't you go with the LC9? Well, if I'm going with the LC9, I might as well go with the Glock 26, in my opinion. I wanted something that was completely different. You know, having compatible calibers, that's great and all that. But sometimes I need to carry something super thin. Just with what I do, I need something super thin, super lightweight. And so having a LCP is an excellent choice. I typically don't carry only the LCP as my primary. This is a backup. Now, I'm going to give you a little bit of something I've been working on and a little philosophy that I've had in my mind here lately. One thing about the LCP is we'd say this was a backup. And yes, it is a backup, but in fact, it's probably more of a primary. And the reason I'm saying that is because this stays in a more convenient place to be able to draw quicker. Right now I have on a fleece vest and it has some nice large pockets. It's really easy to slip this in that pocket. While I have my Glock 27 at my 5 o'clock position, you know, right behind my hip, and so, or kidney carry. And sometimes I do carry it, appendix carry as well. It's just according to what I'm doing. But here's the deal. By the time I've got all my layers, especially in the wintertime, I've got all my layers on and I try to get to it and I'm pulling up my shirt, pulling up my vest, pulling up whatever, I can just reach in my pocket and pull this out quicker. So in an essence, my Glock 27 is my backup. It's up to you, you know, of course, you start adding all this stuff, it can be heavy, and you just have to adapt it to your lifestyle. This just happens to be something that's really easy. I picked this up at Palmetto State Armory just last week, and I've just been wanting one for a while, and I think it's really going to find an excellent spot in my EDC. And then, of course, my Partagaz Black Label Maduro. One thing that you can't do without is a Team Such patch, and you can get these at magplates.com. Those guys are carrying them. I don't make any money on these. They just do it. They've just put it together, and it's been great. I really like those guys over there. So if you're looking for a Team Such patch, which I get requests for Team Such patches daily, go to magplates.com. You can get your Team Such patch and be a Minuteman. So formulating a good EDC, it takes care of all your basic needs. It keeps your stress level down, and it helps you lose weight with all these items strapped to your belt. But seriously, guys, being equipped and being prepared for situations in everyday life do relieve your stress level, and it helps you to be protected. You know, a lot of guys say, well, this is a tiny little small gun. One thing about this is it's better than the gun that you've left at home because of the weight. So find your EDC, find what works for you, what you're using on an everyday basis, and just carry it with you. I do have an EDC pack that I keep in my truck or keep nearby, and I can do more items like a multi-tool and things like that, maybe even a heavier flashlight, extra magazines. So, you know, there's a lot of things that you're going to have in your EDC that are going to be different. So please, down in the comments below, leave your EDC. I'll look through them, and hopefully I'll get some hints, or maybe there's something that I want to change or add or subtract, and you do the same. And that way we'll help each other out trying to decide on our everyday carry. Now guys, I just started doing a lot on Instagram, and that's SOOTCH_00. And that's my Instagram, or you can click it on my home page. I have a little Instagram symbol. You can click it, go straight to my pages. I put a lot of different pictures and even short videos that I'm going to be doing that will not appear on the Such channel. Also check out my Such Fun Gun Reviews Facebook page. I'll have a link down below in the description. A lot of things that I'm putting on there that will not be on the Such YouTube channel. Be strong, be of good courage. God bless America. Long live the Republic. Can't recommend highly enough the here's the 26 in one of the Jackson Leatherworks holsters. Okay. Now here is my now this is my 26, and what EDC is complete without the Team Such Minuteman patch? Oh me.